I'm a descendant of the famous, infamous Genghis Khan, about 1,000 years ago or so, and we traced our genealogy all the way there. I came to the United States because my father, a very famous scientist, was invited by Harvard University as professor. Since it was the time when World War II was beginning, he took it, he liked it, he stayed, and published here 18 books translated into 16 languages. So he was a very famous man. I studied, but then I married my husband, and so I had to leave. But I was a professor of Russian literature in 2 colleges, but I started working with my husband and loved it. Business started a long time ago. My husband wasn't very well. Artists have to eat also. And we had children, and we had to feed them too. So instead of being an artist, he had to do something that is sellable. A friend of ours who escaped from communist Russia, had a little studio in New York where she developed this art and started working with the very top interior designers of the United States, Elsie McNeil and Dorsey and Elizabeth Draper, the famous Sister Parrish, and later on graduated into Albert Hadley, and all his children from now on. So it started like this. He came here from France and needed to work. He first worked it was a very big company making designs, and then this couple were getting older and they needed a new assistant. So Nicholas went to the design school to learn this particular art of how to create designs in repeat, how to separate colors, because this is not simple. You really have to know. You have to know your colors. You have to know your what you are printing them on, and so on. It's not. Some people think you just go to a store, buy paint, and print it. No, not at all. These are really parts of what we do. Now, sometimes we receive little scraps. Some of our clients liked Chinese or Japanese ideas, and for one of them we had to create this bird, which is a mandarin cock. Now, we printed many of them in different colors on both silk paper and a lot on silk. My husband saw a very beautiful scarf which had roses similar to these. He bought me the scarf, brought it here, but then decided to make a design out of it, and did. And it's a very, very successful one, done in a great many colors. We just saw something, my husband liked it, and decided to use it. The next one here, as you see, is a very stylized design of the mimosas. Again, it's a flower that was very, very pricey in France. Did a more or less modern design. It's 13th century and 20th century. Once you have done the design, you have to do what is called color separation. Each color prints separately. That is done on a special film. Then screens are built to fit the pattern, and each color has each separate screen. Now we have in our place, we have probably 2,000, if not more, screens, because you can't do it without it. It's not done by machine. The printing is done only 100% by hand. And for that you need people who have had some art education, This is the screen, and you can see transparent lines on it, and that's where the paint goes through. The rest of it is cannot be printed through. It's covered with a special emulsion. It takes a lot of time and precision to do those things. And this is where it comes from. We have to make a film, and all the black parts are the ones that we'll photograph and through which we will print this. Full samples of our fabrics, of various papers all over the place, and most people go to a store and they buy paper or fabric which can be bought by anybody, anywhere. This is not. It is specially ordered for the specific client in the colors that the interior designer wants. We make what is called strike-offs, a sample in those colors. They may want to change a color or two. We do that. Then once it's done, we print so many yards. After it dries, it has to be processed, heat set, to make sure that the paints do not come off, and coated by something again to protect against stains. And then it's delivered. And then whoever does the sewing or the attaching to walls, wallpapering, they do it and we're off. That's about it. We have the very top interior designers, not many, but very, very top ones with whom we work. For instance, we've now delivered some orders to the famous millionaires, the Koch, K-O-C-H, for their Palm Beach houses and their houses in Colorado and so on. This is the kind of people. We did it for the Mellons, we did it for the Vanderbilts, we did it for the Roosevelts, we even did something for, not White House, but the Blair House, and we did many reproductions for museums. For instance, in Newport, there are the famous mansions. Official name is Zena Studios Incorporated. We're located at 45 South 3rd Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. Our telephone is 914-667-6004. We have a computer, and the computer name is bobrinskoy@aol.com.